store. You can go to the store.
Yeah, I haven't used Amazon in a long time.
Get on a train to buy batteries or video games. I just don't want to.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is that they've managed to get people at the core of their being, which is I don't want to do that, and now I don't have to. I'm not even picking on you.
Monetize laziness, and I'm happy about that.
Yep. For me, there's stuff that I can't find. I wouldn't know where to go to find it here, or like they just like don't sell it in stores.
Yeah,
like I was trying to buy like a DC adapter for my Steam Link, and I went to like the big fuck off electronics store in Kyoto, and I was like, do you have one of these? And they're like, no. What is? Wow, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And then even finding it on Amazon was a pain in the ass. And it's just like, why?
Oh God!
Why?
Qualify number one. I looked away.
Allison.
Qualify two. Allison.
I want to buy a Chromecast audio, but Google have discontinued them and nowhere sells them now.
Why would you
That's so weird. Google doesn't usually discontinue products. I don't get it. Why? I don't understand how that would happen.
Yeah, especially like, physical products that you can buy.
Yeah, they just make those in perpetuity.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been trying to buy one, almost purely for like curiosity of how they work. I don't even.
You plug it into a speaker and then you cast the music to it. Source. Yeah.
So I thought it's a cool thing to have, like when you go to friends' houses or whatever, because they're like, oh yeah, we can listen to this YouTube, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. What if
we'll spend 20 minutes setting it up so we can watch?
Yeah, we're connected to your Wi-Fi.
I feel like connecting to Wi-Fi is getting smoother and quicker and easier.
Maybe on your network.
Yeah. Okay, what's your password? Oh, well, I got it written down on this sticky note, and then let me go find it. And then 20 minutes.
I have my Wi-Fi password memorized, and also that of my friend who lives around the corner, because there were like 10 people at his house once, and we kept giving out the Wi-Fi password. And if I hear something enough times, I memorize it. But anyway, should we podcast?
Yeah, should podcast. I'm sleepy.
I'm very hungry, and I have the ingredients to make spaghetti and stew, and I have not decided which one to make.
Why not both?
Pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Your mic has been totally normal until this exact moment, Alex.
It could be OBS then. Maybe my CPU.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you like this lovely photo that we have on the wall? We have 2 photos from our wedding.
Oh,
those are cute.
Oh, hey, she's here.
I am here. I've been here for like a few minutes.
Oh, well, I wasn't looking at the window. You were so quiet. You didn't say anything.
I said.
Nobody said hi.
Quietly.
I said hi.
I waved to her.
Maybe if you were watching the video, Andre,
I was staring blankly at my Steam library.
I know the feeling, but
saying goodbye to the old-fashioned layout before they roll out the new what's it called?
Store layout.
No, the new library.
When you mentioned Steam, I was like, I should check Epic Game Store to make sure there's nothing new free.
There's Abzu and something.
Oh, I got those. I checked the other day. I now have 20 games on my Epic Game Store account, and I'm not paid for a single one of them.
It's not bad.
No.
All right, shall we kick this shit off?
Kick the shit off.
Let's kick this shit. Shit kick. Bam.
What's Conarium?
Looks like a horror game.
That's good.
Conarium is a chilling Lovecraft. It's a pack game.
It's good. We played it last year. It's good.
So this is the one about the Mountains of Madness stuff.
Yep. It's definitely better than that Call of Cthulhu game. It's more of a walking sim kind of thing, though. There are some spooks.
So it's a pack game, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's sidesteps and rather than reckons with the racism present in that work. So I don't know if it's fully me, but it's good. Given that it does that.
Allison, did you get your games?
Oh,
Tetris 99?
Tetris 99.
Got it.
Whatever the Kirby is.
Oh, right.
I did not install that. After I watched the quick look, I was like, never mind.
It's
I didn't watch the quick look.
Anyway, we can. I'll get your impressions all week.
and then I played more Control.
Right. We're good to go then.
All right, let's do it. Oh yeah, baby. Hello and welcome to George of the Jungle Fix, your stop for all the hottest and most underappreciated Brendan Fraser roles. Pat. I'm joined today by Pat. What Brendan Fraser role do you like?
I like George of the Jungle a lot.
Oh yeah, me too. That's a good choice.
Yeah, I think I mean The Mummy is the obvious choice, right? But George of the Jungle is
he
probably
goes on that bridge.
Yeah, I mean
coffee.
there's just a lot there. It was a simpler time when you could make a movie like that and it wasn't offensive.
Yep. Allison, what Brendan Fraser role do you like?
I don't know if I'd say I like it, but I saw when I was in college, I took a science class called Geology and Cinema, and we watched the 2008 Journey to the Center of the Earth, and so I have like an affection for that because I watched it in a science class and got science credit for it in college.
Was The Rock in the sequel to that?
Yes.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Someone else,
right?
Like less famous at the time than
Mysterious Island is the Rock movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Allison, that was the wrong answer. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Cool. Sam, what Brendan Fraser role do you like?
Let me talk to you about the DC Universe original television show.
I knew you were going to say Doom Patrol.
Where
I mean, we would be shocked if he hadn't said Doom.
I'm just excited that I was so right, and I didn't say it beforehand. Now I'm mad.
Also, Brendan Fraser is very fat in Doom Patrol, has put on a lot of weight to play this character, but also has a sex scene in like the opening episode. Because the DC universe is like, we're HBO adjacent. We can have sex.
These heroes fuck now.
Yeah, and they say fuck a lot. Robin says fuck a lot.
In Doom Patrol, does Brendan Fraser live in a treehouse with a gorilla named Ape?
No. So
okay, no. Okay, thank you. That's all. That is all.
That Journey to the Mysterious Island is in fact a sequel to Journey to the Center of the Earth. So I was.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it does star Dwayne Johnson. Dr. Dwayne Johnson.
Who's The Rock? Right, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock.
Sure, which
Rock
Dwayne?
The Dwayne Johnson. Alex, what Brendan Fraser role do you like?
I think he was the best when he was Ben from Scrubs.
That's a pretty good answer. I think.
I don't know if anybody else has watched it other than Pat then, but yeah, he's great in that.
I've seen every episode of Scrubs roughly 6 times. So
I would say multiple times I've seen it.
I almost have the entire teleplay for every episode of Scrubs memorized.
Wow.
The finale of the good series of Scrubs before they changed it into medical school makes me cry every time.
It's very good. I think the best episode of Scrubs is My Lunch.
Yes, I would agree.
I think I've seen George of the Jungle more than 6 times.
I have also. Yep, that's. I'm positive that's true.
All right. Now that we have gotten our George of the Jungle fix in, this is now.
Before we leave that zone, I would like to point out that Brendan Fraser has a credit for a theme park ride.
I was just gonna say that. I've like never seen that on Wikipedia.
Yeah, me neither.
Where it's like, oh, here's his filmography. Okay, film, television. Got it. Television, theme park ride.
That makes sense. The Mummy, right?
Yeah, Revenge of the Mummy, Universal Studios Florida version only. Only Florida. They could not send that film reel over to California.
Florida, man.
I mean, it makes sense. I've just literally never seen it on somebody's like listed as a category on under filmography on Wikipedia before.
Oh,
So what
sure
you're all
it
saying is
for
that you
other people.
don't know enough Brendan Fraser films to.
You know what? I bet
to look
Stan
at this
Lee has it on there. I bet Stan Lee has it on there.
You know, I will.
Okay, well, while you search for that, I'm going to do the rest of the intro. Now, after
Intro's
getting
over.
Brendan Fraser fix out of the way, George of the Jungle fix out of the way, I can now welcome you to Gaming Fix episode 86 for September 7th, 2019. I am Andre Cole, your host. I am joined by Pat and then some heathens who do not appreciate George of the Jungle.
That's a good movie.
The correct amount.
A great movie.
Yeah, I fucks with George of the
You
Jungle.
remember when he eats the coffee?
Oh, Java.
Yeah.
God.
Like,
That's what I picture your work as. Is just everyone just sitting around going Java. And jumping off their chairs.
We did make some cold brew this week that we really should have been diluting, and we just drank it as concentrate, and that kind of happened.
Okay. Well, this is neither Coffee Fix nor George of the Jungle Fix. This is Gaming Fix. I forgot what the name of her podcast is. It Gaming Fix? Oh God.
It's very late for Andre.
It is very late. I've been up since 4 a.m. It is now 11:30 p.m. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So
Extra long one this week,
video games.
I just want to play video games.
Just want to play
Our podcast
video
is involved
games all the time and every day.
That song should be our new theme song.
Blackout Band. I think something bad happened to one of those kids. Maybe not. I hope not. Yeah, we've been. Somebody take over. Oh God.
Oh, so what about that game? What, you shoot legs and then you make noises out your butt?
Morphies Law. Oh, you go to me. Morphies Law. Nobody's playing Morphies Law. That game seems all right. So apparently it had a rocky launch, like 1.0, like bad netcode, bad everything, I guess. And they did a 2.0 update called Morphies Law Remorphed, which theoretically fixed the netcode, but shortly a month after its release, nobody's playing it.
What is it? What is Morphies Law?
Third person multiplayer shooter. Only multiplayer. There's no single player component. Like, you can play against AI, but so it's like arenas and 3-on-3, 4-on-4 kind of stuff. And the main gimmick is, so you're playing as robots called Morphies, and when you shoot the other robots, you steal mass from them, and it puts mass on your robot. So like, if I shoot you in the left arm, my left arm gets big. If I shoot you in the legs, then my legs get big and I get taller. And then like, it's harder to shoot you because you're so small. But then if your legs get big, your butt gets big. If your butt's big,
Your farts are big.
Your farts are big, and you can fly across the map and like up on top of buildings. And
That's
like
cute.
each of your body parts has like and if your feet are tiny, then you run real slow. But if your feet are big, then you run real fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you have like real big legs, but tiny little feet.
I mean, according to their Steam page, as of August 5th, there were 1,337 players playing.
That's pretty elite.
Fuck off. But it says that only 1% of those people are playing on PC.
But it's got crossplay.
Right. So that's what I'm saying, is maybe even though the Steam charts data is so bad for it, there are people playing on Switch.
I played for like maybe 2 hours this morning, and like it was middle of the day on Friday in America. I'm playing in Japan, so maybe nobody in Japan is playing it, and it just was like, we're not going to match you with anybody, but it seems pretty dead.
I'm going to install the free version and see what I get.
Oh, Fart Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play the demo free forever, but after 30 minutes, they replace all the sounds with fart noises.
I don't know why you would offer an improved version of the game for free.
I don't know. I honestly think that like it's a fun little like shooter thing, but like it's dead now, less than a month after its like 2.0 launch. It seems like, and that's a bummer because like I think the central gimmick is like neat and goofy. Like when your left arm gets big, like your special ability will be stronger. If your right arm gets big, you do more damage. Stuff like that. Your head gets big, you're an easier target. But like if you're big and you've got like extra health, but like if they shoot parts of you that are small, then like it's just straight off your health. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, it sounds cool, but the problem is I don't see what kind of like long-term evolution of that looks.
I mean, you know, they've got like unique takes on like game modes and stuff.
Sure. But I guess my point is that sounds like a thing you play for a few hours and go like, oh wow, this is cool.
If it was free to play, I'd say, oh yeah, check it out. It's like fun and goofy, and it will, but nobody's playing it.
Right.
Yeah. So if it was, if there were actually people playing it, I would highly recommend people check it out because it's like a goofy thing, but at $20 with nobody playing it and no single player component at all. Like, it
sounds like it went the way of the Lawbreakers.
Lawbreakers lasted much longer.
Radical Heights. Are we thinking of Radical Heights?
Both.
That also lasted longer.
Yeah, but this game doesn't necessarily. Well, I don't know. I guess they could have to shut the servers down or whatever. But it doesn't seem like the running cost of operating it would be at the level of a Radical Heights or a Lawbreakers.
Yeah, like they say they want to do like, you know, they want to do post launch support, but I don't know how they do that if they're not like they've sold some copies, but if nobody's still playing, like I don't know how you get people to come back. Like if they made it like I don't know. I'm not a business person. Like they've got we're spending so much time talking about Morphies Law. They've got like loot boxes and cosmetics. They're all pinatas. It's got like a very Mexican Day of the Dead aesthetic, but it's by like a Swiss studio, I think.
I don't dislike the aesthetic, but I do wonder how much you can really do with that, like cosmetically.
They do like some stuff, like they've got some other like non stuff, like they've got like dragons and shit, like Japanese or Chinese style dragons I saw on some stuff. They've got like, you know, emotes, and
they just got to start putting out cop skins.
Yeah. It's bad boys, bad games. What you gonna do?
Talk about that.
But I don't know, man. Like it seems like in the modern day, the way to get a game popular is to get like a major streamer to play it. And I was just looking at Twitch, and 0 people are streaming this. So.
I hate the modern day, by the way.
If you look at their Twitter, they're like a lot of people are like making like let's plays of it, but they must be in there against like maybe they've got community people playing it. There's a lot of people giving away codes to it. But none of them are playing the game. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's maybe for me it's just a matter of like being overseas. I'm just not like in a whatchamacallit time like a
you're hitting some kind of
connection isn't good enough. I don't know. I've got good internet. I don't know. Does it work fine for Smash? Yeah, I don't know.
If they made it free on some platform like Humble, maybe that would be good.
If they get it out there, like I think there is like something to it. It's fun to play. It's just
Steam has finished downloading Morphies Law Fortnite, so
okay, there you go.
Sick.
It's goofy in like the way your characters like grow, and like you'll have like real big legs and like one big arm, and then like a tiny head and a tiny arm, tiny little feet. But yeah, we spent way too much time talking about Morphies Law.
Yeah,
Alex is apparently fascinated by it. He brought it up last week. He brought it up again this week. It's Alex's game of the year.
Yep, and I still haven't touched
Morphies Law Fortnite. Okay. Somebody else video games. Allison, you were very excited about some news from this week's Nintendo Direct. How about you tell us about it?
Yeah, so
Overwatch for Nintendo Switch.
There is a lot coming for Nintendo Switch. I think it was a very solid Direct in general. The first thing I was really excited about was Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming to Switch, which is such a game I really like, and it's great that it's going to get a new life on Switch. So I watched the Direct in my office, and I was very glad most people were already on the way home because I made a very loud noise when that popped up because I was so excited.
I was on the toilet.
So did you also make a very loud noise?
Yes.
And then he
not
watched
for the reasons you might be expecting.
Yeah, but aside from all the other cool stuff that they're showing, I, as the podcast's Tetris 99 fan, I was excited that they introduced new stuff to Tetris 99, which basically has they added a fair amount. They've now added a lot of additional themes. They've added a lot of additional icons, which you basically can unlock from completing in-game challenges. They've introduced dailies, which has been interesting. And then I feel like most notably is Tetris 99 Invictus mode, which is basically you have to get number one in base mode of Tetris 99 to try the Invictus mode. So that has been very difficult, but it's nice because I feel like it's fun that there's basically at this point 2 levels of difficulty when it comes to Tetris 99, where the base one is it's still, I'm not going to say it's easy to get number one, but it's it's fun. But Tetris 99 Invictus mode is like upsettingly hard at times. Like when you get to the top 10, I think it's not just like that the people who are playing it are harder. The pieces drop a lot faster than they do in base Tetris 99. Like when you get to top 10 in Invictus mode, it's just like they're automatically like have already fallen. Basically, they're that fast. So it's nice that there's another level of difficulty. I'm really hoping that I can win a game of Invictus mode, but I have not been able to do that yet, unfortunately.
Do you get something special if you win?
I don't think so.
Maybe
you might get a
icon?
badge or like an extra, or no, you might get an extra
come to your
icon.
house and like shake your hand.
That'd be cool, but
okay.
But no, I it's just more of a aspirational. Man, it would be nice to be that good at Tetris. But
what theme are you rocking?
There's one that I just unlocked. So basically, one of the reasons that you play the dailies is that you get tickets that you can use to unlock themes. And I am now using the I think it's called the Elegant theme. It's basically just like the cutesiest theme of Tetris 99.
Okay.
But I also sometimes use the Fire Emblem theme. So that's Tetris 99. It's still the base Tetris 99, but it's nice. I'm really happy that they're keeping supporting it and adding new things because I really like the game and I feel like it's really fun at its core, but they're still giving more stuff.
Do you think it's a good idea that they released a physical version of it?
I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea, especially since money wise, it is basically you pay $30 for it, and you get the 12-month membership as well as the $10 DLC. So it's not like you're paying extra for it if you don't have the DLC already. But I don't know. It's an interesting. That was one of the more strange things from that direct, I think.
But people will buy it. So
oh yeah, totally.
Just like to have stuff.
I briefly thought, do I need this? And then I was like, God, no. God, I do not need that. But I had the thought, do I? Because of how much I play Tetris 99. But yeah. Did
you guys have any other highlights from the Nintendo Direct? I mean, while we're kind of on that topic.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Maybe one day I'll finish it. The 5 times I've started it.
Deadly Premonition is the big one, right? Like
that was what?
So strange. Apparently, the Switch version of Deadly Premonition it has some issues.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a mess.
Oh, that stinks.
$3.
Yeah,
it's way too expensive, and it sounds like it's a disaster. Larry was apologizing for it on Twitter.
You can get that for $2 on Steam most days.
There are some, like, from what I understand, there are some improvements to it in theory on Switch, like control and visual improvements, but it sounds like it's a mess. I don't think Swery had anything to do with the port. It sounds like it was it was like a port house that did it.
I know what Sam and Pat enjoyed from the Direct. It was about Pokemon.
Oh, the tea?
No. That was so...
the sausages.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Would you like to tell us about the sausages?
No, I mean, I don't think we should spend tons of time on this because, the discourse has occurred already, but clearly the point is...
I feel like it's not proven yet that the Pokemon are being eaten.
What do you mean it's not proven? What else is the sausage?
Okay, there are other animals.
There are not. Where? When have there been other animals? There have never been other animals.
You see birds that aren't Pokemon, that they're just birds.
Those are Pokemon. They're Pokemon birds.
No, they're not Pokemon. They're not like Pidgey or Spearow. They're just like birds.
What? When has this happened? I'm gonna need timestamps.
My favorite thing about that Pokemon Direct, it was the joke that I made in our chat, which was, let's look at these super cool new Pokemon. One of them is a haunted teapot full of a friendly ghost, and the other one is a big hungry bird.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit I am becoming less and less excited for this Pokemon game.
I'm becoming more excited.
That's good.
That bird spits fish.
Yeah, I know that stuff is good, but I'm starting to kind of like
gulp missile in Kyoto. When you're where I live, you can go and you can watch people cormorant fish, which is where they have like a leash on cormorant and they go in the water and they grab a fish and then they reach in and they pull the fish out of the bird's mouth.
That sounds like it might be cruelty to animals.
Yeah.
But like also, it's kind of awesome if you could do it.
It's like a traditional.
If you could talk to the bird and be like, "Hey, bird, you into this?" and the bird was like, "Yeah, I'm into it," then that would be cool.
Like it's a big tourist attraction. I've not seen it done, but it's a thing that happens.
It sounds like it's actually probably terrible for the bird, and so I'm not saying I think people should do it, but
it's pretty rad.
It's pretty rad.
It sounds
animal cruelty is pretty rad. Pat.
No, that's
okay.
Podcast.
And then I think there is one other big announcement for people on this podcast.
Also, sausages aren't made out of birds.
Turkey sausage, chicken sausage. You've had chicken sausage. No,
I have not had any.
Chicken sausage is perfectly good. Like chicken apple.
Turkey sausage is fine. I found a Polygon article that's simply, do people eat Pokemon? And apparently...
in the anime, they do.
Apparently... The
anime is the only canon.
In the show, the Pokedex for Farfetch'd is that Farfetch'd makes a delicious meal, especially when cooked with leek. Because of this, Farfetch'd is nearly extinct. So
Jesus. There's definitely an episode of the show where they eat a Magikarp. Like there's like a Magikarp.
They try.
they try to,
eat
but Magikarp has like no meat on it.
Yeah, right.
And also its scales are rock hard.
Yes, but the point is, it's a dead Magikarp on a plate that has been cooked and served to eat. So,
okay. Well,
but my point was that they've never really shown that in the games. This is the first time.
Nobody eats in the games. Okay, but that's not the point.
That's not true. You give your Pokemon rare candy.
In Pokemon Stadium, there is
nobody knows what rare candy is made of.
Sushi exists.
If there's sushi in Pokemon Stadium, then that's more proof that they're eating them.
Oh my god! I'm trying.
You're trying so hard to move us away from this. I love it.
There's
you also drink a ghost. You drink a ghost's feet.
If it likes you.
Yeah,
it likes you.
The ghost is into it.
That's gross. I'm not saying it's a problem to do that.
There's only one other game that matters.
It sounds like is it 2 games? Is it just the one game and then it's got 2 modes? I don't know how.
Brothers Ultimate, right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
No, what? No. I mean Terry Bogard. Okay.
More characters.
Oh god, what happened? Terry Bogard in Smash is pretty funny.
It's a good pick.
I don't really care. I don't really actually have any affinity for that series.
I mean, neither do I, but all the Busta Wolf, are you okay? Yeah, Busta Wolf memes are good, and then Smash people being like, "Who the hell is Terry Bogard?"
That is also good.
And then also, I hope they put in girl Terry Bogard from the SNK game. Yeah. So she can have the fatal cutie hat, and then Kirby can eat girl Terry Bogard, and then Kirby can have a fatal cutie hat.
Is the next series of characters that they do going to be like Geralt, a Jedi, a lizard from Divinity, Tracer?
Yeah, I know.
I hope
like
it's
classic
Tracer.
PC franchises. Oh, Tracer's coming. You know Tracer's coming.
That'd be a good pick.
Diva.
Tracer's last character.
I'd rather have Diva.
Yeah,
I don't know if she would work.
Torbjorn.
But no, the only other game that matters is Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
As long as they get
Diva's
mods in
up
there.
B could be her jumping out of the mech and kicking off of it. And then her down B could be on a cooldown and could bring the mech back and exclude.
I thought Star Wars would have brought him back.
Sorry. Well, I guess I think Jedi Outcast is cool. I mean, this is like my thing, right? This is the same reason why I was sort of talking about what I was talking about with this SNES games in our chat. Like, it's cool that they're bringing Jedi Outcast to the Switch. I'm not going to play that game again on Switch.
Okay.
I would rather if I'm going to replay that game, it's going to be on PC. And like we have in a month a new Star Wars game by one of the best developers in the world currently is coming out. So
is
like
that next month? I thought it was November. Oh god.
It's next month.
It's October, right?
Too many video games.
Maybe I'm wrong, but my point is like it's very cool. Jedi Outcast is a phenomenal game, and it's another one of those like it's cool that more people get to play it, but it seems like the kind of drop that's like designed to get the people who are already fans of that series excited, and I don't want to play that.
It is like a kind of a head scratcher. Like why? Because like, you know, with Deadly Premonition, for some reason they're funding Deadly Premonition 2.
Great.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay.
Oh my
Divinity
god.
Original Sin 2. They've got. Don't they? Have they announced?
Saves.
Well, no, but they've got that. But didn't they announce that Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to Switch?
I want to say they did. They also have another game that I didn't even know about. Larian does that. I saw at PAX. That
aren't they involved with all like the remasters
of Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
No, there was a different studio.
Okay.
Remasters actually have very mixed. People are mixed on those. Like, there's some people who say that you should just straight up go back and play the old versions because remasters don't have some issues. But
interesting.
But Larian's releasing a game that is basically like just the battles from Divinity. It's sort of like structured almost like a Fire Emblem kind of thing, where it's like you go into a battle, you do a battle, you have more characters than you would have had in the RPG, and then you come out of the battle and you do like story stuff, and then you go back into battles. I hadn't even heard of it. I forgot what it's called.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's structured kind of like that.
I think they talked about this on Waypoint Radio, where they're like, we don't really know what this game is yet. Or
it looked amazing at PAX though. Like it's just the combat from Divinity Original Sin 2, which is incredible. So, and the visuals, like it's gorgeous looking. So I'm excited for it now. I didn't stand in line to play it because it was one of those it was very easy to watch over people's shoulder from out of line, and you could tell what that game was. And then one of the developers kind of gave me a spiel on it. But it's cool looking. I'm excited for it.
But about Nintendo producing Deadly Premonition 2, the description on the Switch store was so good. Yes. About how, quote, the story takes place in a small town in New Orleans, which was created based on research and interviews.
Yes.
Yeah. In the press release about the first one coming out, they were like, oh, this site gave it a 10 out of 10. IGN gave it 2 out of 10. They said that in the press release.
Yeah.
It was divisive.
Yeah, Jessica and I watched the last hour of that game. Just because, and she had never seen the previous, the prior 30 hours, so none of that game ending made sense to her.
Yeah, I started watching the Giant Bomb, one of the 2 Giant Bomb endurance runs, the 2 concurrent ones.
Yeah,
and then I think I tried to watch both at the same time, or watch one and watch the other. And
that sounds like a fool's errand.
It's a lot. Yeah, I don't even have time to watch current stuff now, but. Yeah, okay, so that's the Nintendo Direct. Nintendo was like, hey, there's a lot of we got a lot of games coming out this year. And then they're like, what if we had some more this year? I'm like, what? Yep. No.
Too many games. The one thing I would like to mention is that there is a Bulbapedia article called Animals in the Pokemon World. And it's about real world animals have been mentioned a number of times to exist in the world of Pokemon.
That's fucking stupid.
So
why are there Pokemon and animals in the same
and
world?
In the core,
gotcha there.
In the core series, there's a number of meat dishes that are mentioned that are meat and not Pokemon. So
all right,
that's Pokemon sucks. I'm done. No more Pokemon talk on this podcast. Why are there sheep Pokemon if there's also sheep animals that you eat?
Because sheep animals can't shoot lightning.
Yet.
Hey, take it up with Darwin.
Yeah, if there are Mareep, why we still got sheep? You know what I'm saying?
It's also frankly ridiculous that in order to prove this thesis on this Wikipedia page, they have to bring up the fact that at one point there's a piece of amber with a bug in it. Pokemon's dumb.
Pokemon's supposed to take place in a war-torn future, isn't it? Nuclear war caused all these animals to mutate into Pokemon, and that's why there's Pokemon.
I really wish that I didn't know that.
I don't think I don't have any proof for what I just said.
Well, there's the whole it's supposed to be the Pokemon War. Lieutenant Surge is there.
No, but that's the Pokemon War. I'm talking about this is
post.
Like a Dark Tower thing.
Different war.
The world has moved on from.
Yeah, nuclear winter turned into.
Can we talk about something else?
Yeah,
I'm upset now.
Sam, war has changed.
Never changed.
War has changed because now there's Pokemon to fight our wars.
No, war has changed because it's not in the game name anymore.
I saw a very funny tweet the other day where someone said, how can there still be creationists in this world when we have proof that war evolved in 2001? Which made me laugh.
Combat evolved.
Combat evolved in 2001.
Okay.
It's a good joke.
That's very good.
Apologies for butchering it to everyone listening, and also
and you eat the Pokemon in Gears 5.
No. You also can't play Gears 5 unless you have a reliable internet connection or unless Microsoft has one. I played about do you know what the smartest thing about Gears 5 is? And this is my favorite thing about the entire game. When you first start playing it, they do the Halo look at these lights to decide which
that's great
or not. But what they do is they go, can you look up at this drone? And whatever direction you pull, they change that to up.
Yeah.
So if you pull down, like I do, because you play inverted, it just automatically sets you to inverted without ever asking you to do it. It's super smart. It should be in every game ever.
Should also be in every PAX demo ever, because let me tell you, when you're someone who plays inverted and every game is set to not inverted. Sucks. Anyway, continue.
Wait, we have multiple inverted players on this podcast. Alex, where do you stand on this?
I'm not inverted.
Okay, thank you. Allison?
I am.
Oh my God, we're outnumbered, Alex.
Outnumbered. We're the normal ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I managed to play about half an hour worth of the first mission of Gears of War. I'm playing as a character called JD.
Oh shit!
Not from Scrubs.
That's Marcus's son, right?
News to me.
Legitimately, this is dumb, I know, and I can take my headphones off if you need to, but I don't want to know any spoilers for the previous Gears games because I'm going to play them.
You need help.
I want
good games.
Listeners to know that I'm despairing right now.
I'm pretty sure JD is Marcus's son.
They're good games.
Right.
Like 80s and 90s for all of them.
The fun part about
James Dominic Phoenix.
Let's have a full episode about Scrubs. Anyways,
the fun part about the fun part about it is that there is a previously on Gears at the beginning of the game, which is super smart.
You don't talk about his tomatoes.
The one thing that I would say about the previously on Gears is it only covers Gears 4. It doesn't cover any of the original trilogy or Judgment. And the part of me that has just never played a Gears of War game was like, could you explain some of these terms? No, okay, they're just going to go with it.
I'm not going to play Judgment.
What terms do you need to explain, Sam?
like cogs.
What's a cog?
Like
Cog is the soldiers.
Literally everything. But
they're cogs.
What's a locust?
Like I'm kind of working.
Locusts are the
I know this.
people who live underground.
I actually played the first game like 10 years ago. So
they're saying they haven't said locust a lot. They said swarm a lot.
I think they killed all the
the
locusts.
swarm are also the locusts.
spoilers, Jesus. Have you talked about Reemergence Day?
Emergence Day.
Emergence Day, whatever.
There's a very important necklace. Also, several people have died. Some of the cover is squishy and it looks like it's organic. That's gross.
Imagine slamming your back into that.
Do they ever talk about? Do they ever talk about the Delta Squad?
No,
Okay.
they do not.
Is there a Power Ranger guy?
I realized that Marcus
Power
Phoenix
Ranger guy always
by-
dies.
I realized that Marcus Phoenix is voiced by Bender from Futurama, so that's funny to me. And he is just literally doing the Jake the dog from Adventure Time voice.
Yep.
Like he's not doing anything different. It's just that voice.
Yep.
So that's funny.
Is he yelling about tomatoes still?
He has not yet referenced his tomatoes.
That's
Okay.
so sad.
Tomatoes. I don't know why I tried to do it your way.
Tomato.
Well, you could be wrong if you like. So yeah, so far I played half an hour and then it was like, you need to be signed into Xbox Live. And I was like, okay, click sign in. And then it shunted me to the main menu mid-mission. So that sucked. I've heard that there are some difficulties with the server. So maybe I will just not play that game until it's out or post out.
I wonder if anyone's trying to pull like some shenanigans, like DDoS their stuff.
Well, anyways, keep
Sony.
going, sorry.
Apparently, like the game borrows heavily from God of War in that there's huge open world sections. The first open world section is like a frozen tundra, apparently. So, I mean,
I've heard so many mixed things on this. Like listening to Waypoint talk about it, they were like, "This game sucks." Basically, like that the tone of that whole conversation. I almost don't even. I ended up skipping past it because I almost don't even really know why they spent so much time on it because it sounded like they all thought it was bad, or not bad, like
not worth their time.
Yes, like not worth playing, which was weird to me that they spent like 20 minutes talking about it. But
listen, I spent like almost 10 minutes talking about Morphies Law.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not trying to like be super critical of them, but the thing that Emmanuel was saying, who was playing it, was that the open world sections, like there's nothing there. Like it's just like you walk across the map to go to a different hallway. It's not like there's quests and stuff.
It's like real life.
I don't know.
Well, I'll give it a shot. I'm
to play it.
Yeah, my buddy Jim has got the non-Ultimate Edition, and we'll be playing it together next weekend probably.
Cool.
So, I just wanted to like give it a try and see what it was like, and I probably would have played a lot more if I hadn't been kicked off. But I think I'll just wait now until other people are ready to shoot cogs or whatever.
You don't shoot the cogs; you are the cog.
But what if in Gears you do?
I think that in a
Spoilers.
previous Gears game, you shot the cogs.
Oh my god!
I think that they referenced that in previously on Gears, but I could be wrong.
Maybe things.
Now
change.
I don't need. Now I'm not going to play any of them. Apparently, you shoot the cogs.
We've done you a favor.
We've done you
Because the cog, like a gears of war.
Yeah,
cog.
so the cogs are like the cogs go in between the gears and then they get ground.
Now I understand.
The gears of war grind the cogs.
I don't.
All right, now that brought us to a screeching halt.
I did also play another game.
A wheel or bar with a series of
Ooh.
projections on its edge, which transfers motion by engaging with projections on another wheel or bar.
True. Anyways, what was
They're
the
like
other
the
game,
little
Sam?
ones in between the gears.
What was the other one, Sam?
I'd legitimately forgotten the other game that I've played. I played.
Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, I did play Dragon Quest 11, and I did play Astral Chain. I've not got far enough into Astral Chain to have thoughts on it. Apart from that, I have multiple times almost fallen asleep playing it. That's not a damning thing on Astral Chain. Just for some reason, it sends me to sleep, and I have no idea why. Dragon Quest 11 is great. I'm playing it exactly how I want to play it, which is half an hour a day before bed.
You'll be done in 2030.
Yep. I'd highly, super, mega strongly recommend this game. Although I know that Alison didn't get on with it, but I really liked it.
I
also
might
love
try it
Dragon
again
Quest.
because I want to like it, but I don't know.
Maybe if it's on Switch, you'll like it more.
Wait, which game? Sorry.
Dragon Quest
Dragon
11.
Quest
11.
Dragon Quest. Gotcha. Need to download that demo.
I've been playing the demo. It's great. It actually looks really nice on Switch. I was expecting it to look kind of PS2-y, but it doesn't at all.
Okay.
I need to finish Fire Emblem before I download that demo.
Yes,
Pat,
you do. And Control.
Yes.
Yeah, Control. That's a good game.
That is a good
Pat,
game.
Great
what have
game.
you been playing?
I did play some Control, which is a good game, but I'm not here to talk about that because I think you probably talked about it last week quite a bit.
I kind of gushed incoherently about it.
I could gush incoherently about it as well. I mean, I've prepared a berth for it in my top 3 games of the year, even though I'm not that far in, which I haven't done for a game this year. It's so early on. So
The one thing I would say about Control is I played it a lot this week as well. And last week I mentioned that I hadn't run into any of the base PS4 hiccups. This past week I ran into them and I ran into them hard.
brick wall.
Yeah. So it went from, oh, this is playing perfectly fine to, oh no, the frame rate is god awful.
I have heard people say it is the worst performing game released on PlayStation 4.
I honestly maybe agree because it's playable usually, but not good. So I don't know if I'm going to wait for a performance patch or not.
They claim they're going to do that. So hopefully that happens.
I just wanted to give an update because last week I was saying, oh, I haven't run into anything. And then this week I definitely did.
Yeah. And even on the PC, actually, like I'm a handful of hours deeper than I was last time we talked about it. And the first fight where you engage with the flying dude, if you know what I'm talking about, that fight, that brought my computer to a screeching halt and I had to turn all the settings down.
I can say that at least playing on a 1X, it's been fine. It's between 30 and 60 frames pretty much consistently.
That's great.
What I would say is playing on the PS4 Pro, I didn't have any issues in that fight that you were talking about, Alex, but like if there are like 10 dudes on screen and I pause that game, I'm dead. Because when I unpause it, it takes so long to catch up, I'll just be dead.
I will say there is a weird bug on Xbox where sometimes the map doesn't load when you hit the up on the D-pad.
That happens on PS4. It takes like 3 or 4 seconds to load every time.
I've let it sit for like 20, 30 seconds. It doesn't load. Sometimes if you hit a control point and then do the map, it'll load. Sometimes if you pause the game with like the start button for a while and then go back in and hit up, it'll load the map. It's a weird bug. It's frustrating too. But there's so many signs in the game world that it's not that bad. So
I barely use the map.
That game does have some bugs, though. I encountered a scripting bug where I got to an area and it was not supposed to be full of enemies, but it was super full of enemies.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, but
my least favorite thing is how fiddly it is to telekinesis the grenades and rockets when that skill is literally life or death. And you're like, I'll be looking directly at the object, telekinesis, and it'll pull a piece off the wall, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm dead now.
Yeah, I
have the most life that you can get in that game.
I don't even try. I just dodge whenever stuff is going down.
When you get to the end, you kind of need that. But
yeah, you need to be doing that.
But the things that I have been playing, honestly, I spent the most time this week with Control, probably. Well, actually, I spent the most time with Dauntless, but I have talked about those games before. So the things that I checked out that are newer this week is I played a little bit of Creature from the Well. I don't even necessarily know if we need a video to talk about where I've gotten in it. I started it, got to the point where it turns into a roguelike, and then and then stopped from there. But I did get a feel for like the concept of that game. It's definitely very interesting. I'm not sure it's going to end up really clicking well with me because it doesn't feel like it's like pinball, but you move around. So it's not like you're, at least in the bits that I played, you're like moving around the room and then hitting balls off of stuff. And it's interesting. Like I have two weapons now. One of them is a sword. One of them is a pipe. The pipe just hits the ball. The sword collects them. And then as you hold it down and then you press a button to fire all three of them off. And like the game is based around using those as like tools to hit objects that then open doors. So it's a cool concept. The visuals are really striking. I think that's the thing that I'm digging the most about it, is it looks really cool. And the concept is interesting. It's like, I thought it was a fantasy game, but it's actually more like a near kind of thing where you're like, it starts off and you're like a robot in the desert, and then you come to this big factory and there's this scary monster that's like hiding in the shadows that's talking to you about how like there's no hope for you and it's going to keep its eye on you and stuff. So it's got a good atmosphere. It's got some creepiness to it. It's very snappy feeling. So I'm going to put some more time into that and see how I get on with it. And then I played more of Children of Morta this week. I don't know if any of you have seen that game.
It's just some screenshots. It's got an art style.
Yeah. The art style it's very pretty. It doesn't do much for me. I'm kind of over that whole like pixel art with high fidelity animation and lighting.
I was going to ask what you thought of Super Brothers.
I love Super Brothers, but that was also one of the first ones to do that, right? So like it was really, really like breathtaking then, because it was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this in motion. This game is sort of leaning on that sort of thing, and I feel like games have been doing that now since Super Brothers, which is to say, like, it's not like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that Children of Morta looks. Like, it looks good in the same way that, like, I don't know, like Gears of War is like a really pretty looking game with big guys with guns, you know? Like, I don't know that there's anything, like Control is notable because it does interesting things with like lens flare and color and camera tricks and stuff. Whereas something like Children of Morta, it's just pretty, but it's not, I wouldn't remark on the visuals too much. What I would remark on though is that game has like just a really cool, it's a really cool take on the roguelite thing. The concept behind it is that it's pretty basic. Like there's this cataclysmic force that destroyed everything, and you have to go down and go in these dungeons to try to save the world, basically. But the cool thing it's doing is it's this family that you're playing as. You're playing as a family of characters who are largely playable. There's a couple of them that are not, that act as like characters back at the base that you're using to upgrade stuff, which it kind of has upgrades in a rogue legacy, roguelite sort of way, where you get gold while you're down in the dungeons, and when you die and come back, you spend the gold on upgrades for the family. But each character in the family is totally different. So there's no like gear or loot in the game. Well, that's not true. There's no, you're not getting like weapons and armor. Each run you can get little like pieces. I think they call them maroons, that can give you bonuses like lifesteal or whatever, explosive attacks. And then you can get consumable items while you're down there. But the characters each progress on a skill tree that isn't like revolutionary or anything, but it's pretty cool. And then each of them has 3 abilities, and it plays kind of more like a twin stick action game than a clicky Diablo style game. And it feels really good to play. Like it's just like, I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, and I have 2 characters so far. John is like a sword and shield guy. But then he also has a like, he can call down a bolt of lightning. And then there's another character who has a bow. And both of them feel really unique and different. You have a good dodge roll. Different characters can roll different numbers of times and stuff. And I just really like the feel of the game. The enemy variety is pretty decent for one of these kinds of games. And the way they deliver story is really cool, because there's just different points where, you know, this time you did your run on the first dungeon and you got to floor 2. So now you're going to get a new story thing, but you're probably going to die on floor 2. So then you will get more story stuff further down the line. And the story stuff is, a lot of it's like fully voiced by a narrator. And I like the kind of perspective, because it's like the narrator's kind of like describing the conversations that the family is having, rather than like having you read text boxes of dialogue between the characters. So yeah, I think like the style of how it delivers things, the feel of the game is really cool. There's also stuff like you want to upgrade. So like John is the sword and shield guy. He's very basic. But you want us to play as him, because each character has a line of skills that when you level them up, they make other characters better, which is really interesting to me. So like John, you want to level up the skill with him because he gives everybody more health than if you level up a skill with him. So it's kind of neat. It also has co-op too. So up to 2 people can play together, which is kind of a cool thing. I don't think it has online co-op right now, but it has local co-op, and I think it's on Switch. So you can play it with people in the same room. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really cool game. I'm actually like pretty enthused to keep playing it, because I think it could be really special. There's like 6 characters, I think, that you unlock over time. And they apparently are pretty unique and really run the gamut from the basic, like what you would expect, Holy Trinity kind of thing, off into some weird directions. So I recommend it. It's only like $20 too. That was why I picked it up, because it was so cheap.
Yeah, sounds really interesting.
Yeah. I don't have a lot more to say on it, because it is very, like, you shouldn't go into it expecting something way beyond or outside of what you've played before. If you've played stuff like, I don't know, Nuclear Throne is maybe a good example. Stuff like this sort of top-down isometric-y action roguelite sort of thing. That's really what it is. But I think it just plays really, really well, and it has some really cool overarching progression stuff going on. And it is pretty neat. Even if it's not, they do some good things with color.
It looks really good in motion, I think.
Yes, it does. It does. Even if it's a style that I think is not as remarkable now as it was, 10 years ago, it's still a pretty game.
Yeah. All right, Alex, did we cover what you've been playing?
Kind of. Yeah, like I haven't had a very game heavy week. I played a handful more hours of Control, a handful more hours of Astral Chain. That's about it, really. Astral Chain, if y'all play it, you need to meet Marie, because she's the best.
So you're still enjoying your time with Astral Chain?
I am, yeah. I think it's really well designed. It's really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been pretty wholly positive experience with it so far.
All right. Then I've got. Well, yeah.
Actually, I do.
Dauntless loadouts.
And I've got two more games that are not Dauntless that we have not discussed on the podcast before.
I just remembered though. We have Pat here now. We can have like the 1 minute of TI9.
Okay, you've got 1 minute.
So
first of all, I need to know something. Did Anna like say the N-word a bunch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because on the Bombcast last week, Ben was talking about how Anna said the N-word in public chats a bunch.
I remember seeing something about some Dota people doing like.
I do remember that, but I couldn't find anything about it. But I could just not have been looking in the right places. So
yeah,
anyway, I thought I would ask you if you're not sure. Then we could put a pin in that as not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, either way, TI9, that was a couple weekends ago at this point. But that was like the first time I pulled an all-nighter because it was in China. And
I tried. I fell asleep in game 2, but
yeah,
it was still amazing.
That was probably at like 4 a.m. because it ended around 6 a.m. And it was really good. They did really well by it. It was an interesting series. It ended up being more stompy by the end, but it had a bit of back and forth at the start.
Well, and the notable thing too is just that, like for people who don't watch Dota, it's no player has won TI twice before. And not only did a player win TI twice, the same team of players won TI twice as the same team. So in back-to-back years. So that's just unprecedented. It's really cool.
Yeah. Especially because with Dota, like after every TI, you have what's called the post-TI shuffle, where people just leave teams and go to other teams. Like it's a tradition at this point. So, and
it's not required, but it just happens. Like it just.
Oh yeah, people signing new contracts and
so it's very cool to see that team stick together and then come back and be so good. And it's also cool because a lot of people called last year's TI a fluke and were like, well, they're not real players and they're just playing the meta really well and stuff. And so this year it very much solidified that like, no, this is the best Dota team in the world and probably in the history of the game. So it's exciting, and they have a good. I think. I mean, barring I guess if Anna said shitty stuff, I mean, that sucks. But generally, they have like a really good attitude about the game. I think where sometimes they do some like BME bad manners sort of stuff, but it's usually good natured in a way. Like it's not when they troll people, they also troll themselves pretty hard. And they have a good sense of humor about it. It's not like mean-spirited to me in the same way that it is with a lot of other teams and players.
Yeah. I did some research. Anna did, in fact, say the N-word and use various other slurs.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. And he's also probably from everything that I was already aware of, he's definitely the most like volatile member of that team in terms of like after last TI, he just took a year off from playing the game. And then came back like right before this TI.
Yeah. But I think if I remember correctly, they also said that they were docking him a month wage and stuff from all winnings and all that kind of stuff. And we're donating it to charity.
Yeah, well, that's good.
If I remember correctly, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to. I mean, I don't really have excuses for him. There's some weird, it's complicated with I feel like there's less of a cultural. It's harder to say, oh, they don't understand the culture of that term. If you're talking about someone like PewDiePie, who is like globally extraordinarily popular and lives in Europe versus someone like Anna, who is, he's from Malaysia, right?
No, he's Australian.
Australian? Oh, well, then never mind. He should know he should have every bit of cultural context. So fuck that guy. But I think it's also relevant to say that like, there's that the team as a whole, it doesn't necessarily reflect those values, and you hope not anyway. So it's good to hear that they donated some money.
Yeah. Anyways, TNN was good.
It was. Yeah, it was. The tournament itself was very exciting.
Oh, though the audience sucked balls, but that's fine.
Yeah, the audience was pretty bad.
Yeah.
They were too busy protesting.
It was in Shanghai, though.
Yeah.
Not Hong Kong. But yeah. Anyways,
Hong Kong's where the heart is. Hong Kong's where the Dota is. All right, now back to my two games that I've been playing. I'll Heave Ho. I'll give Alex a second to find video for it. You guys like Mount Your Friends?
Yeah,
I like watching other people play Mount Your Friends.
Okay. What if Mount Your Friends was easier to play
I might like it more.
and cooperative instead of competitive?
That would definitely make me more interested in it.
Let me tell you about Heave Ho. It's so if you don't know what Mount Your Friends is like this goofy 2D like climbing game, I guess. And you use like the face buttons on your controller to like control the various limbs of your person, and then you like somehow fling them around the screen and try and make them climb up a goat. In Heave Ho, you've just got two arms, and you're using those to make your way across the level. So like if you hold down like the right trigger, you'll grab onto something with your right hand, and then you can rotate your body and then grab on something with your left hand, let go of the right, and move your right arm. If you use the physics, then you can like get around and you can swing, and you can like throw yourself across the map, all that good stuff. So I was playing Heave Ho with my girlfriend, and oh my God, we had such a blast. Like that is probably the most fun I have had playing a game in a while. Because you're just, you're picking each other up and you're throwing each other to like new blocks. And then the person just like doesn't grab it for whatever reason. Either they rotate like just wrong, so they're like their arms never touch, or you don't throw them anywhere near it, or you let go of the wrong arm and you both fall to your death. And the way death works in Heave Ho is you explode and like your death is very juicy, we'll say. There's just like an explosion of juice, and then you just pop back up. So it's pretty quick. Very good, very fun. There's a dedicated fart button, and you can charge up your farts. And then if your fart is charged up enough, you can launch the other person.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's Alex's game of the year, right after Morphies Law. It's tied.
Yep.
It's number 1 and 1. If you've got someone to play games with, I would highly recommend Heave Ho, just because like it's easy to pick up for people who don't play a lot of games. And like it's just so goofy and fun and satisfying once you get there. Like once you beat a level. And like
So there's obviously a win condition. Like looking at the video,
you're just getting to like a little bowl kind of thing on the other side of the level.
Right. So there is a win condition. What is the lose condition if there is one?
You give up. Like
okay.
Like literally it's there. Like if you take more than 10 minutes, it will give you like a super easy like pathway to follow. Like so you don't have to jump anymore or do anything like funny. You just like grab onto the thing and like pull your way across.
Yeah.
And they have like they make it really easy for people to complete levels. Like as long as one person gets there, then it'll put like an assist thing below the goal. So then you like climb under the goal and you pull it, and then it brings up like a life raft. And then the other people can get on it and like steer it over.
That seems like a really good thing for kids then. Like, like on top of being good for like couples or friends or playing whatever. That sounds great for kids now. Yeah.
And there's like, you can unlock a bunch of different costumes and stuff. So it's a fun game for like local multiplayer. I would highly recommend it if you're into that kind of stuff. Just because, and then you'll pull each other to your death, and you'll be like, "Why would you do that to me? I can't believe you betrayed me like that." But yeah, it's good fun. Some of the level, like I think the levels look really nice. They add like some interesting mechanics and stuff. Once they get to like spinning platforms and stuff, you're like, "Oh God, what's happening?" physics. But yeah, so that's Heave Ho. And then the other thing that I've been playing is Man of Medan, the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan, which is by Supermassive Games, developers of Until Dawn. This is the next game in that kind of style from them. They did like Rush of Blood for the PSVR, and then they did some of those That's You games, or what, Playlink games.
Playlink, yeah.
And everyone was like, wait, where's Until Dawn or Until Dawn 2? And that's what the Dark Pictures anthology is. So it's a shorter game than Until Dawn. Until Dawn's about 10 hours. So this is shorter, but they're making more of them. They're making like one a year, kind of, or like they've been working out for more than a year, but the next one is out in 2020. But this one, Man of Medan, is like a ghost ship story. It's got Sean something. He was in Quantum Break, and he was Iceman in the X-Men movies.
Yeah, Sean Ashmore.
Yeah, that guy. He sucks in this game. He's like the really shitty, like rich guy. He's not really a kid anymore. But he's like 20 something, but rich asshole. So you've got a smaller team or a smaller group of people in this one. You've got 5 people that you're playing as. And like, I think overall the story is, even though it's shorter, I think like it's on par with Until Dawn, the story wise, but like some of the dialogue is so cringy and just like it actually distracted me from sequences where like it was supposed to be scary, like, oh, we're gonna do like the spooky thing, but I was just like groaning and like, what the fuck, listening to people talk to each other. If you were unfamiliar with Until Dawn and the style of game, it's like Resident Evil camera angles, like PS1 era Resident Evil fixed camera angles / adventure game, walking simulator kind of, but spooky. And most of the action happens through QuickTime events. So depending on how you feel about QuickTime events, this game could be great or bad. It's taking place in a ghost ship. You're like pretty confined. There's not like a ton of exploring you can do. It's like kind of very railroaded. Like there are things you can miss. So like, you're picking up items and like, oh, I'm going to pick up this clipboard and it's going to tell me some backstory. And I'm going to like, okay, now I'm like starting to understand what's going on here. Yeah, or like I'm gonna pick up this knife, and then later on in a action scenario, maybe I'll use this knife to stab somebody, or maybe I'll choose to not stab them. Who knows? All your choices matter. And then so the kind of the big gimmick with these whole games are your whole everyone on all the protagonists can die, and then that'll impact the story and what sequences you play or don't play. But this one, it's like, because it's shorter and there's only 5 people, it seems like you're pretty much playing the same sequences no matter what. And I don't know how early people can die, or like, all the spots people can die. I beat the game. I've played through it like 3 times because I was very, very dissatisfied with my first playthrough. And that's because it's very unpolished, like so unpolished. At times it feels like a student film. Like they're like in cutscenes, there'll be like shots that seem out of sequence, or like that just shouldn't be there, and they're like only there for like half a second. I'm like, wait, why was that even there? And it's not to like be spooky. It's just like they were like cutting it and they missed like that half a frame in like the timeline or something. So that's like a bummer, because like at the end I was left very confused and like annoyed because of like plot holes and just general, like if they had taken an extra month to like tighten it up and like put out a more polished thing, I think it'd be very good and like an easy recommendation. But now I'm like, unless you really like Until Dawn or like really like horror stuff, it's like yeah, maybe check it out. It's only $30. But when Until Dawn is like my second favorite game of 2015, I think, so whatever year it came out, Witcher 3 was number 1, Until Dawn was number 2. It's a bummer.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of a bummer.
But like, because I really like the way they do their like their horror game like methodology, because it just, everything keeps going no matter what. There's no like, oh, I died, so we're gonna reset me back like 5-10 minutes or even more. Like now I have to go through this whole like plotting section. So like, you know, constant forward momentum is cool, and like I think they tell an interesting story, but again, there's like plot holes and things that don't make sense. And I've found like 90% of like the documents and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, there's things that don't make sense. But yeah, I'm interested in the next one. A Little Hope. It looks like it's going to be like Salem witch stuff. Like they've got like a little doll thing that like seems reminiscent of Blair Witch in the logo. One of the characters is wearing a Salem, Massachusetts like tank top, and there's like a Salem witch trials like book in someone's luggage that you find like all the stuff through the game.
That's cool.
So that's
that. And Until Dawn, like, did they make references to?
I don't think they knew what they were going to be doing.
Okay.
I don't think they knew what they were going to be doing next.
That makes sense. I just wasn't sure.
And then the thing that just, oh my God, it's the scariest thing in this game is they're on this ghost ship. Nobody's wearing shoes.
Ooh.
Nobody's wearing shoes.
Don't like that.
Yeah, no, it's, and like they often, oh God, it's, yeah. They don't like have any foot horror. I'm not like, but it's just the thought of them being on this like, you know, rusting ship that's like, you know, falling apart and nobody's got no shoes.
Ooh.
Yeah. But like, yeah, if you were into Until Dawn, like if you really enjoyed Until Dawn, I'd say check it out. They have a built-in like multiplayer mode. They have 2 versions. One is like, oh, we're all sitting around together and we can pass controller. It's like up to 5 people can do it that way. And you just put in your name, and then when it's your turn to play, it'll be like, hey, now this person take the controller. And then the other one is you can do like share play online with a friend, with one friend.
That's cool.
Yeah. It sounded like they just patched out some bugs where it's like if one person alt tabbed while you were doing the online play, the other person couldn't do any inputs.
I would hope that they would fix that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been fixed. But they haven't polished up like the cutscenes that don't make any sense or just like poorly put together. And there's like repeating dialogue at points and stuff like that. I'm just like, man, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but like that stuff seems like it'd be easy to catch. But, you know, games are hard. And I still, you know, I think what they're doing is I like what they're doing. I just wish I want it to be good. I want it to be better.
Yeah. It seems like, I guess they're paying for like actors and stuff, so maybe not, but it seems like it might be a less expensive game to make than a lot of like AAA, like narrative driven games, because they're shorter.
Maybe like, I mean, you know, they do a lot of writing and there's like, yeah, it's hard to say with this one. Like I imagine because they're trying to do these like yearly that they are less expensive, but yeah, like they had some big names or like, you know, I guess they made like for Until Dawn, they had everyone in there before they like kind of got famous.
And I feel like Until Dawn is kind of
and Panty Air, but
it's a weird thing because like it took so long for that game to come out.
Yeah.
And it was so troubled during so much of its development.
Yeah, but and it came out great, like because at the time, I honestly think if they had like an extra month, they could have like ironed out like all the little quirks that I found. Like, you know, there's gonna be bugs and stuff, but like all the stuff that I encountered was literal like cutscene and like story stuff that didn't make sense or seemed out of place. And yeah, so it would have been nice to see that tidied up. But you know, I enjoyed it, but I was also left disappointed.
Yeah, I like Until Dawn a lot, so I will play it at some point.
Yeah,
it's not super high on my priority list, but I do.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be that high on anyone's priority list. But if you don't want a super spooky game, but you want like a spooky game for Halloween, then I'd say it does the job.
Yeah, we might. My girlfriend.
You got Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I know. I got to finish Resident Evil 1. I got to the part of Resident Evil 1 that is not fun to play.
Is the lab?
No, it's the before that when you get all the fish monsters start popping up.
Oh, the hunters?
Yeah.
Oh, you're still there. Okay.
I haven't played it since I got there.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, so that's Until Dawn. It's a game and it works.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, I know it works.
Yeah.
It's just everything when it's not you playing. Also, they like weirdly pad it out by like there's like a second cut. There's like the theatrical cut, which is like the first playthrough, but then there's the curator's cut, and the curator is like the psychiatrist from Until Dawn.
Gotcha.
So he like pops up and he comments on how you're doing. But yeah, so no, it's a different person.
That's unfortunate.
And so that one, you're playing the same story, but you're playing like different characters at the same, like in the story beats. So if like you were playing like Alex in the first section, you'll be playing like Fliss in like the curator's cut. And so like you don't get to make certain choices, which can be very bad. There's one that's just like, I don't know if there's a way to avoid it, but it's like the worst possible choice and it's very upsetting. But yeah. Man of Medan, I hope Supermassive is more prepared next time. I hope they take the time they need to get it right. And since it'll be like their second time taking a crack at like this format, I'm hoping it'll be smoother.
Yeah, sounds like it should hopefully be.
Yeah. Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about?
Just briefly, I played the bit of Super Kirby Dash, which is Clash. Dash,
yeah, I played that.
Which is the new. They call it free to start, but it's basically free to play.
It's so free to play.
It is very. See, I was wondering if it's free to start, like
Super Mario Run.
Or I was thinking about Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, which I don't know if you guys played that at all on 3DS.
A little bit.
I like that game a lot, actually.
I don't like baseball.
It's more like mini games. It's not necessarily like a baseball game.
If it's got baseball in the title, I am not interested.
Okay. But basically it's you buy, like in that game, you buy like individual mini games, but the actual haggling is part of the mechanic. So you try to get the price down for what you pay for each mini game. So I was like,
yeah, it's incredibly strange.
It's so strange.
You negotiate with
the rabbit shows up.
It's similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just weird. I personally really like it, but I thought it was really good, and I thought that the monetization was really good because each game you could buy them at full price for which each mini game is like $4, but you can also haggle them down to like maybe $1.50 or $2. So I thought that was neat. But I was like, okay, Nintendo has done great things with that kind of a thing. So maybe Super Kirby Clash will be like that. It is extremely free to play.
It's got a stamina meter. It's got 2 stamina meters.
Yep.
It's got premium currency. It doesn't have loot boxes.
No. Although
Surprise mechanics.
No,
personally,
no surprise mechanics.
I've played a decent amount of it so far, and I haven't really felt an urge to pay money yet.
So the way they do it is they say, oh, if you buy 50 more gems, which is like currently it's like 50 cents, then your tree, which auto generates what gem apples, your tree will upgrade to level 3. And if you pay us $40, it'll just automatically go to max level and give you 2,000 gems every day.
Yeah,
that's pretty gross.
The thing is, though, I don't know how helpful having that many gems are, because I've run out of the like other components, because basically so the game is weirdly kind of like Monster Hunter-esque.
Yeah.
Where you go take like jobs off of a board and then defeat a boss.
4 people go and 4 Kirby's go out and they just beat the ever-loving shit out of like a giant Waddle Dee.
Yeah. But you have to, so instead of having the standard Kirby let's eat everything and get powers, you're equipping items, you're equipping weapons. So
like sword, hammer, magic wand, a flask of unknown liquid.
Yeah. Yep. So you want to go buy the stronger ones at the shop, but to do that, it doesn't just cost the premium currency, which are the gem apples, but it also costs like materials that you get when you play the actual things. So there's no real way, I think, to actually just buy them with gem apples. I don't think you can buy any of the fragments without it. I might be wrong. So it feels like actually playing it, I haven't run into a scenario where I thought, oh, I need to pay money for it. Even with the multiple timers, they fully refresh the timer when you level up, and leveling up so far has happened really quickly, and I'm about level 10, so it's I've played a decent amount. So
yeah, I'm almost there.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how far I can go without being like, man, I'd like to pay money. But I think that's probably as far as I'm going to go, is just the idly seeing how far can I get without going, I could really use spending $5 on this.
Sure. That I've been playing Super Metroid on the SNES stuff because I've never played Super Metroid, and I like Metroid games, Metroidvanias, so I figure I'll try it out. That game's hard.
It's a good one of those, though. It's tough, but
I'm just like finding my way around. I've had to use a walkthrough a couple times to be like, where the fuck do I go? Because there's a lot of like, oh, you got to shoot this wall over here that doesn't, has no indication that it should be shot. It's
no Metroid Fusion, but it's a good game.
I always got stuck in the same place in Metroid Fusion. There's like a boss, and I couldn't figure out how to get to the boss. It's like in a big like terrarium thing.
Metroid Fusion might be my favorite Metroidvania.
It's one that I always wanted to like more, but I always got stuck on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode of George of the Jungle Fix. You can find me on Twitter at Coolslaw, COOLSL4W. Pat, where can people find you?
You can find me at PJC Plays.
Fantastic. Sam?
You can find me wherever good comic books are sold, and on Twitter at SGCH.
Okay. Allison?
You can find me on Twitter at WRITERSERENYTY.
And when you crush garlic, Alex.
Wow, that was a good one. You won't find me here next week. I'll be in Vancouver.
Well, no, that's not fantastic. That's sad.
Sadtastic.
Sadtastic.
We'll miss you. We don't know what we'll do without you. But thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great one. I'm so sleepy.
I'm so hungry.
We'll be back slightly earlier next week. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Goodbye. So long. Farewell.
Bye.
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 George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree.
What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. If you smell is
Sam has a licensed Journey to the Mysterious Island toy.
Is that for your baby? Is that for your child? This is a dangerous game you're playing, Sam. Your child is going to come to respect The Rock more than you. Rock is your child's new father.
The Rock or Stitch from the movie Lilo and Stitch.
I'm leaving this podcast.
Goodbye.
I'm leaving this specific call, not the podcast overall.
I thought you meant like forever. Like I'm out.
Not forever.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you next
Bye,
week, boys.
Dwayne.
Bye.
Bye, Stitch.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.